Welcome to Benchwarmers. I'm Thomas Canzora. This is Brooks Anderson. We're going to start today with the Stanley Cup. The title was clinched last night as the Chicago Blackhawks win their second title in 4 years on 2 goals late in the third period, only 17 seconds apart. Your thoughts?
It was one of the greatest hockey games that I've witnessed in a long time. It was a hard-fought game, battled all the way to the end. Looked like Boston was going to be able to send to a Game 7, and Chicago was able to just power it out at the very end and surprised everyone with just 2 great goals that were very unlikely within a minute of the third period closing. So it was very, very intense game, and it was fun to watch.
Mm-hmm. A lot of people are going to be talking about the Blackhawks because they clinched. The Bruins, I wouldn't necessarily call it a choke, but it was not very well played in the clutch. That was everyone I've talked to that's a Boston fan says that loss felt like a punch in the stomach. They wake up, they don't know what happened. They still don't believe that they actually lost that game. It's one of the worst forms of losing you can have.
Yeah, well, it was kind of, I had a feeling, an inkling when the game was about to start, when I heard Bergeron was actually going to play, and reports after that he was playing with a broken rib.
Yeah.
I know it's Game 6, but he didn't really
do. On the line.
Everything's on the line, but he didn't perform. I didn't expect him to. Injuries, but that means everyone else had to step up.
But also doubtful was Jonathan Taves of Chicago, and he stepped up.
He stepped up, had a big goal,
and that's why they're the champs.
Yep, but Bergeron, he was kind of slow on the ice last night. He wasn't the biggest playmaker, and the guys around him didn't step it up, and that's what ended up costing them the cup.
All right, we're going to take a call from Andy out in Saskatchewan.
Yeah, those Chicago Blackhawks, they're a dynasty, man. 2 titles ever since 2010. They've got all their pieces coming back. They're going to win the Stanley Cup next year. These guys are the best, and they won the cup. They deserved it. They're going to be a dynasty. I don't care what you guys think.
Okay. Would you call the San Francisco Giants a dynasty?
Probably not.
He's in Saskatchewan.
I don't know what baseball is.
So the San Francisco Giants, they've won 2 World Series titles in 3 years. Both of those, they weren't regarded as great teams throughout most of the season. They weren't, top teams. They didn't have the best record in their league either year. They won in the low 90s of games, I believe, both years. And they've won 2 World Series titles in 3 years because in baseball it's the hottest team that wins in the playoffs. And hockey is much the same way. You could go far in the playoffs with a hot goalie. You could go far in the playoffs if your team's just on a good streak. That's what happened to the Los Angeles Kings last year.
Yeah, and to just go off of that, the Blackhawks, this was a lockout-shortened season, so a ton of things played into key success for the Blackhawks. And remember, they started off the season on fire, and right around middle season, they looked like they were going to be the favorites to go deep in the playoffs. So they kept everything together. They had a great season. But remember, this season was a whole lot shorter than seasons in the past. So put them in another season next year, which won't be shortened. It'll be regular season and a regular length of the season, and we'll see what they do. But I wouldn't necessarily call them a dynasty by any measure. They still have a lot of work to do to win a Stanley Cup, a full-length season. I realized they won one in 2010, but this year was a lot shorter, and they pulled it off. So, all right, we're going to go to our next topic, if that's all right.
Actually, we will have to take a quick break.
All right.
We'll be right back.
Let's do it.
This is
Benchwarmers.
Benchwarmers, presented by Go Squeeze, and we'll be right back.